All right, the recording is starting. All right, guys. So basically, today's main call, I wrote it down. Today we're going to be going over the new program direction, new stuff that's been added into the Notion, really the main focus for the next few weeks, and then two other things along those lines. So first things first, going to be going over the new focus, or I'll say not new, but a more narrowed focus point for this program. Let me show it. Let me screen share. Let me know when you guys can see.
I can see.
All right. Syed, Dylan, you guys can see?
Can you zoom in a little more, Zach?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Yes, Duno, we can see.
All right. Awesome. So I'm going to zoom in more as I start to explain it. But what I'm doing right now is I'm going to explain the evolution that I want everybody to go through while they're inside of this program, and really just I've nailed down the exact roadmap of how to get you guys going from 0 to 3 to 7K a month to 5, or from 5 to 10K a month, going from 10 to 15K a month, going from 25 to 50K a month, and really just evolving and charging more for your time, right? So basically, the main reason we start everyone off as an appointment setter is if you have absolutely no skills, this is the easiest place to start, right? And at this stage, you're really learning how to have conversations with businesses and people. You're learning how to qualify inbound prospects based on a business ideal client. You're learning how to draw out pain and get people to commit to showing on calls. You're learning how to understand a prospect's business and ideal client way more than they do. You're also learning how to follow up with people to ensure that they show up to their calls. Lastly, you're really just learning how to actively use a CRM and how to track leads, right? So at this stage, what you can expect to be making is around $3,000 to $7,000 a month if you're just an inbound appointment setter. Now, the next stage, you can either start as an appointment setter or you can start as a growth specialist for a business. This is really where you learn how to do outbound prospecting on different channels, whether that's LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, email, right? You're learning how to write copy for content, meaning you understand how to create content. You're understanding how to write good content. You're also learning how to create different pieces of content that will get attention and get people to raise their hands. You're also understanding different lead generation systems and what would work best for the business that you work with. This is starting to show you guys in which direction that I'm going to be going over with you guys these next couple weeks. The next stage is learning how to be a growth specialist leader, right? At this stage, you're learning how to track and manage people. You're learning how to set proper KPIs and how to maintain them. KPIs being key performance indicators. You're really learning how to be a true leader. You're also learning how to hire, how to outsource, how to automate, and how to delegate, right? You're learning how to simplify and increase efficiency as well. And at this stage, you can expect to be making 10 to 15K per month with your own efforts, getting clients and just sustaining the current amount of clients that are coming in and working with you right now. You can skip this stage and not learn how to be a leader and not worry about this kind of stuff if you just want to go from being a growth specialist to being a leveraged growth specialist, right? At this stage, you're really just charging more for your time. You don't really have a team. You don't have anyone working with you. So at this stage, this is where learning how to grow audiences on different platforms. I'll zoom in a little bit more for you guys. At this stage, this is where you're learning how to grow audiences on different platforms such as YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, LinkedIn. You're learning how to grow on these specific platforms, and really just you'll learn how to do this organically and through paid as well. You're learning how to build and convert communities on different platforms, whether that's Discord, Facebook, Telegram, and any other free-based community that someone can have out there, as well as paid. And you're going to be learning how to build different sales assets for businesses, such as VSLs, content that just they can store and it's evergreen, meaning every time someone watches it, they're going to get the same outcome. And then lastly, you're learning how to build or you'll know how to build a consistent flow of traffic for these businesses. So at this stage, this is where you can expect and you will have the confidence to be charging businesses around 25 to 50K plus per month. But this is where you're charging for your time, meaning you're working with one or a couple businesses here and there. And as you learn how to be a growth specialist leader, now you'll be able to just sustain being a leverage growth specialist because you'll know how to hire team members, you'll know how to hire employees for these businesses, and really you'll know what to do and really just how to build things out so that you have a team working with you and you know you're going to deliver for every client that you work with, because one, you know how to track and manage your team, you know how to learn how to lead them in the right direction, you know how to set proper KPIs that they're going to hit every single time. And so really the main goal of getting you guys to go from, point A to point B is giving you guys the ability to control the capacity that you're earning, right? And so to really just go on from here, let me now share some of the new stuff that's inside of the program, and really just stuff that I will be adding into the program. So let me know if you guys can see this. You guys can see it?
Yeah.
Sweet. So what's new is you'll see, in the welcome page, there'll just be some new videos, and really it's just going over, just this is the welcome to the program. This is the new program dashboard, how to really understand the dashboard, this how to understand the Discord community. And then this link is basically the link that I want everyone using to book a one-on-one call with me every single time you need help on everything these next couple of weeks, right? Next, it's gonna be in audiences. So in audiences, you'll see Facebook groups, and each one of these Facebook groups, I want you guys going into them and reaching out to people to either become appointment setters for them or become growth specialists for them, right? And even for you, Trent, in these groups, you will find your ideal prospects, your ideal clients, reach out to them, start conversations, and follow the same process. So all of these groups you see right here are groups that are filled with businesses that are either hiring or businesses that are, or people that are trying to get hired.
For
And
sure.
so starting conversation with these people, learn about them, learn about their offers, learn about what they do and what they're really looking for. Now, if they are someone who's maybe looking for a specific service, great. Or you educate them on your specific service. That way, now they're more open to hopping on a call with you, right? Next,
Wait, can I interrupt real quick? I just have another thing that I recommend as well. I don't know if you've heard of this, Duno, but there's this other thing. It's almost like a LinkedIn. It's called Alignable. And a lot of these marketing agencies and stuff that are like smaller and bigger, they'll post their phone numbers and stuff on there. So like they'll post their Instagram links, their phone numbers on there. So then you can just reach out to them right from there too. Where I think
Nice.
that could be helpful for like some of the guys as well. And even for like when you're trying to like bring what's it called, appointment setters onto like marketing agencies and stuff, I think that could be really helpful, like even to bring in more business. What is your thoughts on that?
Yeah, nice. And there's also a bunch of softwares that I'm researching too that I will be adding in the tools and assets, which is like stuff that will give you businesses emails, businesses phone numbers. That way you guys can directly contact them through email or through their social media. And to continue, so yeah, that's a good resource, Trent. And to continue in the tools and assets, so far I've added 3 things. They might not show. I don't know why I keep saying this, but basically so far there's the contractor agreement, which is basically this is basically what you guys can use as an example contract that, let's say you start working with somebody, you edit this, you shoot it over to them, they sign it, great. Now you're protected by a contract so that you get paid, right? And they can't cheat you, right? Next,
The growth specialist one, or is that for the appointment setter one?
this is for anything you want to use it for.
Oh, okay, cool. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries. And then next, I'll be updating this, but this is basically a resource that you can use. It's a 30-day Facebook group strategy for you can leverage this for any business. I'll be updating it. This is something I got from another program I was a part of. I'll be updating it more, but for now, you guys can definitely use this to it's 30 days, right? It's 30 days of how to actively grow a Facebook group and really just leverage it to either launch something. Let's say you're working with a business that has no Facebook group, or to constantly get people in the group, getting them engaged, getting the right people in the group organically, right? So this is an asset that you guys can use. And then lastly, this is, let's say you don't have a tracker, or the business that you're working with does not have a tracker. I've created the template that you guys can use right here. Basically, you guys already and it's right here. You guys already understand how to do this. So now it's really just, you go there, you click file, you click make a copy, then you create your own copy of it. That way, you can edit it and do whatever you need to do inside of it. Next on the list is really the main focus for the next few weeks, and really the goal of these next few weeks. What's up, Andre? Welcome, guys. Andre is new. He just signed up today.
What's up, man?
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Sweet. So let me stop sharing. And Andre, you could catch the beginning of the recording. I'll upload.
Yeah, sorry, I just
Oh.
got on Discord there now, so. And
Yeah,
it's
no
actually
worries.
Andy. I don't know why it's appeared as Andre, so I've changed that
Oh,
now.
Andy. All right, sweet.
Good.
And then one last thing I'll share for everyone. So let's say any of you guys miss let's say we have a coaching call, you guys miss it. All of them will be right here under support calls. I haven't added any of the old ones yet, but I'll be adding every single one of them here. They'll have their titles on basically what went down in the calls. That way, let's say you guys are going back and let's say we talked about a certain thing on content or a certain thing on something else. It'll all be in this right here. Inside of the Notion, it'll be right here. You'll see the links, you'll see the titles, and it'll obviously in the future, it'll be a lot more sophisticated as we get a lot more group coaching calls in here. But yeah, so that's it for announcements. Now, over the next couple of weeks, I'm choosing to do more of a deep dive on every single one of you here. And I really want, and it's really just, I got this idea after Andy joined today. And it's really just, I want every single one of you to use as much one-on-one time with me as possible as I'm dropping new stuff inside of the program and really going a lot more deeper on what it means to be a growth specialist. Because one, I want to work on the marketing message for this program. I also want to actually get you guys more results than you're getting right now. And I just shared that all those different Facebook groups that you guys can, start getting jobs in and side gigs in as growth specialists, as well as appointment setters, as well as, let's say you just want to be in between. So I want you guys to use me as much as possible, because pretty soon, as like the main goal of this program is to help you guys charge more for your time. So for me, I'm doing those same things that I'm going to be teaching you guys, right? I'm not just teaching you guys to teach you guys. I'm actually doing what I'm doing so that you guys can follow in my footsteps or go farther and faster than me, right? I may have a program, but I still do the growth specialist skills so that one, the program is able to stay sustained. So every one of you, like Trent, you have your agency. So I want you to take advantage of these one-on-ones with me and book as many, I don't want to say book as many, right? But every single time you guys are stuck, you have a question,
sure.
anything, book the one-on-one with me so that we can go more in depth, so that you guys, your skill level is increasing, you're making more money, you have a couple clients, and you truly understand how to scale from the position that you're at right now. So that's really it in terms of announcements for today's session. So now I'm going to open it up to you guys. Raise your hand. There's a few of you on the call. I don't want you guys talking over each other. So if you've got a question, I know Andy and Byron, you guys missed the beginning of the call. Basically, I was just going over the new program direction, or I don't want to say new, but I'm narrowing down on specific things for the program, and as well as some of the new stuff that I put inside of Notion. You guys can catch the recording, but just to give you guys a quick overview, it's there's new stuff in the audiences. As you see in Notion, there's a tab that says audiences. You'll find audiences in there. There's also stuff inside of tools and assets that you guys can use. So template contracts, as well as basically a 30-day Facebook group strategy that you guys can apply to help whatever businesses that you're working with. You help them grow a small Facebook community that will bring numbers in for them. So that's basically it. So I'm going to open up the floor for you guys for questions. Oh, one last thing. We're going back to 5 group coaching calls a week. I know these last 2 weeks, there were 3 calls, but starting next week, it's going to be 5 group coaching calls every day, Monday through Friday, 5 group coaching calls a week, Monday through Friday. And again, every call, I'm going to be bringing something for you guys to learn. So if you have to miss it, that's fine, but do your best not to miss these calls. And then, of course, if you know, I'll spend the first couple minutes of the call educating you guys. The second half of the calls will be open for Q&As. And then if your answers don't, if you don't get your questions answered on the calls, make sure to book a one-on-one with me. That way I can go more in depth with you so that you don't feel left behind on everybody else, with everybody else. So that's what you can expect for the next 2 to 3 weeks, is a bunch of new stuff and being thrown at you guys and being a lot more in depth. So yeah, now I'll open it up for questions. Byron.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask, like, on my outreach account, so the one that I message people, it's doing like horribly right now. Like, I've been posting content, I've been putting stuff on my story and stuff like that. Like, I've been trying like hard to make it look like I'm not some bot or something.
Yeah.
But like, like before I was doing like 60s. I slowed down a bit now, but I did 50 yesterday. But it's like nothing's happening on it. And I got one message which is saying like he's not interested. So that's all I get pretty much.
Gotcha. Yeah. So basically everything you just mentioned about your account not getting traction and really just everything slowed down. So from my experience, the main reason that it's slowed down is because, let's say, you haven't been as consistent for a long enough period of time. So let's say it was doing good in the beginning, but now it's stopped. It's mainly because you slowed down. So now there's a loop in business, right? It's called, I'm going to pull up the whiteboard for you guys. Let me know if everybody can see this.
Yeah, I can see it.
Sweet. So can everybody see the entire line?
Yeah, I can.
Sweet. So there's a loop in business, right? And the loop is, let's say this is week 1, this is week 2, this is week 3, and this is week 4. Everything you do in week 1 and 2, you're going to see the results of that in 3 and 4. And then it will keep looping like that, right? So let's say you do nothing here in week 1 and 2. You're going to feel the repercussions of that in week 3 and 4. You're not going to see it those same week 1 and 2. You're seeing the repercussions in weeks 3 and 4. And so in business, it's kind of like anytime you feel like, let's say in week 1 and 2, you did a lot of work, but you're mad or you're upset that you're not seeing any results. The reason is because those results, you're going to see the results of the work you've put in for week 1 and 2 in weeks 3 and 4. Same goes for months, right? So let's say it's a 4-month cycle, right? What you did, let's say you were putting in so much work in month 1 and 2. You're posting content on a regular basis. You're reaching out to people on a regular basis. So now you may not be satisfied with what the results are in month 1 and 2, but in 3 and 4, now people are messaging you. Now people are engaging with your content. Now people are actually like, whoa, like I see your message now, because that's really the effects of time, especially in the business world, right? So because you did, like, let's say you were doing things before this, but you slowed down for 2 weeks. Now you're feeling the effects of that slowdown because you chose to slow down, because you were doing less, because you chose to stop. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean,
And so,
I was
yeah,
sorry.
go ahead.
I was also saying that I'm not like even before when I was doing like 60 per day and stuff like that. What's it? I didn't get like as much like what's it? As much messages back as on the outreach on your account.
Yeah.
And I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I mean, yeah, consistency, but other than that, I don't really know what I'm doing wrong.
Yeah. So other than that, it comes down to like I said before, not before today, but in previous calls, is number one, the messaging and how credible the account is, right? So these next couple of weeks, I'm going to be going a lot more in depth on the content that you guys should be posting, as well as the purpose of those content, as well as how to create the content so that you're not just seen as some other person just creating that style of content. You know, you're not seen as, oh, he's just another guy talking about this. You're seen as they're watching your video, they're reading your post, and they see you as an authority. They trust what you're saying. And it's not just about, yeah, some guy can have flashy cars, flashy Lamborghinis, whatever. But because of the way your content is being told, now they take you more seriously. So I'll say what's been happening for these past couple of days, or even for you, maybe the past 2 or 3 weeks. Don't stress it on it as much. These next couple of weeks, I'm going to be going a lot more deeper on content, as well as how you can leverage other people's audiences to get more traction on your own stuff, right? And that's mainly through Facebook and a few other communities, right? It's basically how you can leverage other people's communities to bring back attention to you, your content, and your communities, and even communities that you're building for businesses. So yeah, I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense.
Sweet, sweet. Any other questions, guys?
Yo, so I just have like, I don't know if it's like a question or a statement. I don't know. But I guess I'll just say it anyways. The thing that I was wondering is like, so some of the messages like with the outreach I was doing, like I was actually getting a higher response rate through my business account than I was for my personal brand. And I think it might just be because I what was it called? Yeah, like my personal brand only has like 78 followers. Like it's not really built up that much yet, just because I haven't really focused on growing it too much. I've just been focused on doing like a decent amount of outreach and just getting like a decent amount of volume in on the outreach like this past like week, couple days to a week. Um, do you think I should like kind of slow down with the outreach on that and just try to build it up first and then get back to outreach, or should I build it up while doing outreach too?
Do it at the same time. And the fact that your business account, what's the difference between your business account and your personal brand?
The fact, or not the fact, I meant the thing with my business account and my personal brand is different. Is just like it kind of has more followers, and then the other thing too, um, what's it called? It has like a little bit more of an audience, and then also I show like some more of my client results on there, but both of them are fine. I mean,
I mean, are they both for the same business, or are they for separate businesses? Because you have
same
your
business.
agency. So are they both for your agency?
Yeah, it's both for the agency.
Okay, so why not use one?
That's true. Yeah, because at first I was gonna use both just because then I can use like can do more volume with the outreach, but that
Yeah.
makes sense now that you said that, like to just like focus on like one of them.
Because because what you're doing is basically you're helping businesses grow through Instagram,
Yeah.
leveraging a few different vehicles, which is organic and paid. So now you can have the same content on both, which is why I'm diving a lot deeper on content these next couple of weeks to show you guys truly how important content is, the
Sure.
more you have out there, and really whether it's because your company face, I'm assuming you don't show your face that much versus your personal brand.
Yeah, my personal brand, I'm
show your
trying to
face.
show my face more, but I'm just gonna say one thing, and this is like speaking of accountability, like this is one thing I need to do more often. And like that's just post content, you know, like I have to keep getting content ready to go. Like that's the one thing where I'm just like, you know, maybe I should post some more content. I don't know, you know what I mean? But like, because I'm so focused on like the growth marketing side, I forget all about the content side, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's like, Trent, what are you doing? Like you gotta get to the content side, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's why I just need to like focus on like putting more content out there. And I think like it's gonna get better results as I keep doing that, you know what I mean?
Exactly. And look, following this right here that I just drew up for you guys, the
Yeah.
more everything, you will feel the effects of what you didn't do the last 2 weeks or maybe the last month now. So now you have to restart putting out content again so that you can feel the effects again, right? There's nothing wrong with that, but it's why I'm putting a lot more focus on truly getting you guys to understand
But the importance of content and stuff.
exactly. So if you're gonna use one account, that's fine. To get more volume, you're using two, which is great. So what you can do is have the same content on both
On
because
both
they're both
pages?
used for the
Okay.
same business,
Are
right?
you allowed to do it where you can like collaborate it from one page over? I think
Yeah.
you can. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I thought because like I thought you could do it that way where they just combine like that, which I think that'd be pretty easy if I add that on both sides. Cause I think like if I show my knowledge that way too on both the agency page and on that page, because like now Instagram is one of those things where it's video, you know, like you gotta have a video or else it's not gonna be great, you know what I mean? So that's why I totally agree with that, you know what I mean?
sweet, sweet. And the important thing too is the fact that you're doing Facebook ads for businesses, or at least Instagram ads and boosting ads.
Yeah.
Facebook is making their comeback right now in terms of like, a few people were like, oh, Facebook is this and that, or Meta at least,
Yeah.
but now they're coming back with a punch.
And that's what I
So it's
noticed
like,
too. Like what I do, like Facebook group marketing for clients too, man. Like the Facebook group stuff. Like, I mean, there's so much more traction now than there was like even like a month ago. It's insane.
yeah. Byron, I think you raised your hand.
Pardon?
You raised your hand, right?
Oh yeah, I did. I was gonna ask about so the past like few weeks I haven't been performing well. So like, how do you like stay consistent? Like, how do you stay like disciplined to keep working?
Well, honestly, when it comes to staying disciplined, at least for me, right? So the best I can do is give you guys my perspective on it.
Mhm.
Is you don't want to burn yourself out by just doing a bunch of stuff, right? One, it's what kind of breaks are you taking and what are you actually doing? Because it's natural for all of us, right? If you're not seeing the results of what you're doing, that's when you start to get like, man, like, ugh, I'm gonna get lazy, I'm gonna stop doing it, because in your mind, you're doing it to get some sort of result, right? You're trying to get to some point of where, oh my goodness, I just achieved this. So now you're using that to keep going, which is perfectly fine. But it comes down to, let me erase this. It comes down to what you define as, I'll say as success for you, right? So if, let's say for me, right, if getting a booked call is what I define as success, every time I get one, I'm going to be happy about it, right? So it's like, let's say, you have different levels, right? If this right here is what you're defining as, all right, this is my high, let's say it's uploading a video, or let's say it's getting a paying client. Let's say it's getting a bunch of paying clients, right? The more layers, the further away you put that like achievement, the more you're going to have to keep telling yourself, I got to keep going in order to get here. But let's say this is what you're putting. So you're saying, all right, as long as I do this today, I'm going to feel like I had a successful day or a good day. That's going to give you more energy to keep working for longer to get to eventually get to this result, which is down here. But if let's say you're just shooting for $1 million and this is $1 million and you're at absolute zero right now, right? You're going to have to go through all these losses or all these different things just to get here. Now, it might take you a long time and you might get there, but let's say you make $1,000. Okay. Now 2, now 10, now 50, and you keep going up like that. It will give you a lot more to sustain yourself with and you see yourself making progress, right? Because when the hardest thing about staying disciplined is not seeing progress in what we want to achieve, whether it's fitness, whether it's business, whether it's whatever it is, right? It's what you're defining as an achievement that's actually getting you closer to the goal without feeling burnt
Sure.
out.
And that's why, like, I also I set like separate like benchmarks for myself too. Like, for example, a couple of the benchmarks I've been setting for myself and like setting like specific goals. Like I put like I want to hit my first 10K month by the time what's it called? April hits, you know what I mean? And then after that I put 20K for end of the year, you know, for like per month revenue.
You mean
And
like on a consistent?
but
You mean consistently?
yeah, like consistently.
Yeah.
And yeah, like those are like the specific benchmarks I have. Like right now, I'm at $7,000 a month, like to be exact. And then you know, like that's one more deal away, which potentially to book appointment on what's it called? On Monday could be really good. Like, for example, I'll show you the response of it. Hold on. Is it cool if I share my screen real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, give me just a moment. Fuck, where is it? Okay, hold on just a second. There we go. All right. Sorry from all the background music. It's just I'm at the clubhouse and it's always loud as hell in here.
Mhm.
But yeah, so it was a cold call. I normally don't do too many cold calls anymore, but I did this cold call and you know what I do like during my cold calls and stuff is I get very personable and also I'm very authentic. I'm just very, very authentic. And like for example, like this is what I'll say in my cold call at the beginning. I'm just like, hi there, my name is Trent Dowd. This is not a call center or a message center. This is just a young entrepreneur trying to make an impact. And then I just start what I'm gonna say. You know what I mean? And that's why like on average now, like after like talking to you about it, like with some of the tips on like cold calls too, on average, people stay on the phone with me for about 5 minutes
Nice.
on cold calls, which this one was 30 minutes.
Okay.
So it ended up going really well. And, you know, she wants to jump on a Zoom call and she was really interested, you know, and then I just put this at the bottom right here. And this woman, she has over 400 clients. She based out in Newport Beach area, California.
Nice.
She also has made she's also I think she has what is it? Yeah, she has a podcast on Spotify with about 13,000 followers on it. And
Okay.
then she also what was the other thing? Oh yeah, she's on
What are you trying to help her do?
social media growth marketing
Okay.
and marketing research.
On what platforms?
So for the marketing research, I'd be doing researching each brand like she assigns me. I'd research some of their competitors for both Instagram,
Okay.
Facebook, LinkedIn. And that's what I advertised at least. And then the other thing I would be doing for her as well is I'd be like doing the growth marketing specifically for Instagram, but
Okay.
I would also be doing the growth marketing for Facebook groups.
Okay. And what do you know about her business so far in terms of numbers?
Yeah, so as of what I know now, I think she hit about $10 million last year in revenue.
Okay.
She's on a bunch of press releases. I looked her up and everything, did a ton of research, very well known, very
Okay.
and I really think I can make an impact for her if she
Okay.
chooses to bring me on.
So right now, just what I'm going to tell you is this is much like that deal I closed in back in January. So take this as I'll say do 2 to 3 calls, right? The first call, I mean, unless you have your own method that you want to go through, the first call, really use it to just use it as a discovery call. Learn as much about her business as you can and focus on letting her talk more, because
Yeah.
this can end up being a really, really big contract for you, especially if she hasn't tapped into Instagram that much and she's already at 10 million, like that's pretty solid if she's not on Instagram.
Yeah,
So,
because she's like on Instagram, but she doesn't have too much on Instagram. She's primarily on Facebook and LinkedIn,
okay, so basically you're helping her tap into Instagram.
basically. Yeah.
All right, sweet. So next, the second call, unless you end up having like an hour or 2 hour call, but if it's a 30-minute call, focus really, the first call, focus on discovery, learn about her business, use the hiring call script, right? Use the questions on there to learn about her business as much as possible, get her talking, right? Then
Yeah.
if you get into the strategizing on that first call, because she has time, people at that level, they typically don't want to just keep talking and talking unless they're really interested in what you have to offer.
Yeah.
So you can use the second call to either just focus strategically on, not strategically, but specifically on strategizing with her on, hey, this is what I think we can do for you. This is how we're going to do it. And just go in depth on the strategy. And if not, if you don't close her on that second call, then you can push for a third call, right?
Okay.
But that's kind of how I would go about it. And because right there, if you close her, that's a pretty big contract.
For
And,
sure.
Again, take that call. Let me know how it goes on Monday.
Will do, man. And like she told me too, like she said that she never really answers like cold calls. And she told me, she said out of like all the marketers she spoke to, like that have been like doing it for like 10s, 20s years, right? 10s and 20s of years. She told me that I'm one of the best cold callers that reached out just for being so personable. And the thing that was pretty cool is that she actually has some family members that have Asperger's and are on the spectrum as well.
Nice.
So that's
Exactly.
good.
So if you close her, you do a great job for her. You've tapped into her network, and
For
that's
sure.
other large contracts that could potentially be coming your way.
100%.
Sweet. Solid, man. Good job.
I appreciate that.
Sweet, sweet. Any other questions, guys? Hey, and
It's seriously electrifying, man. Seriously. You are
nice,
rocking.
nice. Go ahead, Andy.
Yeah. So just on what the last what Trent was saying there, like I built a business on the fake it till you make it sort of principle, and it worked, but it took a long, long time. And I think that because I was trying to maybe pretend that I knew more than I actually did, and I think something that's came up about this that maybe you could speak on is just this being honest. Like, when I seen in one of the calls that you had posted on YouTube, I think you mentioned a 13 or 14-year-old.
Yeah.
And like the idea that I had with business when I was younger is that if you're 13 years old, what can you possibly know? And what I'm realizing more and more is that a lot of these young kids, they just have information that's of a high value that these people need. And so I think, could you speak on just, if you're starting off doing this, but not wanting to try and pretend that you're some sort of authority? Because I'm hearing in that last call there how just that openness of, I'm a young entrepreneur trying to make a difference, and just coming that way is obviously successful.
Yeah, dude. That's a great question. One thing they call this imposter syndrome, right, in business. And me kind of like, I've been in this stage, right, where a lot of times I'll have trouble charging for a certain price, or I'll have trouble trusting myself that I can actually deliver on a service with a business. And that was me going through imposter syndrome. And the main reason for imposter syndrome is, like for me, for a long time, I was like, man, I'm young. Like, why would these people trust me? Why would these people listen to me? Right. And, like, as you see, there's a lot more younger and younger and younger entrepreneurs. And the main reason for that is, in the business world, what I've realized recently is people want you to help them go from point A to point B. And if you can paint a clear picture of how you're going to help them, what you're going to be doing for them, and that you actually know what you're talking about, to them it's going to seem like, okay, this person is the person that's going to solve my problem. Now, what's their price, right? But when in your point of saying, you know, you had a hard time and you don't want to fake it, there's nothing about faking it, especially when you're open and you're authentic about it, right? Kind of like how Trent said, hey, I'm a young entrepreneur. The same way, if you're coming to someone and saying, hey, look, this is the first time I'm doing this, but I know that I can get you results as long as we follow this roadmap, and then you paint that roadmap for them. Now they're going to be like, okay, they're going to trust you a lot more, even though you don't have previous case studies, previous testimonials that you can leverage to show them that you know what you're talking about, right? Because getting that first major client is such a big push. And when you can come in an authentic way and you're like, hey man, look, I'm not here to bullshit you. I'm not here to lie to you. My main goal is to get you from point A, whatever that point A is, to point B, which is what you've told me you wanted. And this is exactly how I'm going to help you get there. My question for you is, do you think I can actually help you get there? Now you're going to hear their feedback. Based on their feedback, now you can tell them, oh, okay, this makes sense. Yeah, I can do that as well. I can do this. Basically, because, they're going to give you a bunch of objections of saying, well, what do you know about this? Or can you actually do this? And now you're just giving them more feedback, answering their questions, because once you have the expertise and you know how to deliver, now you can either, there's a few different ways you can get paid, right? Whether it's, hey, look, don't pay me until I get you this result. Okay, now you've just agreed on a performance-based deal. Or you can go for, hey, look, every single client I bring you, I want this X, Y, and Z payment or commission or whatever, right? And the last way is, look, pay me this, and I'm going to give you your money back 100% if I don't get you a result, right? There's a few different ways that'll work, but it all comes down to what you're servicing, what you're going to be delivering, and how confident you are in yourself to actually do this job for them. Does that make sense?
Makes
100%.
sense. Thank you.
Sweet,
And then
sweet.
the other thing too, what was I about to say? Hold on, I lost my train of thought. Go to someone else.
All good. Syed, I think you were saying something.
No, nothing.
Cool.
It's a really cool stuff, man. What you're thoughting as.
Yeah, no, you guys should be like, I want you guys to be excited for these next couple of weeks.
All right.
Because I've taken a step back to number one, and it's mainly Andy that helped me realize this, because he thought that what I was mainly helping people with was appointment setting, but it's really just helping you guys become growth specialists so that you can leverage more money for your time, right?
All
Because
right.
that's
All right.
what's important at the end of the day, right?
Mhm.
And that's what I'm really here to help you guys with. So I want to focus a lot more on, like, what is that? Narrowing in on the messaging. That way,
All
when
right.
I'm putting content out there, that messaging stays the same. And that's me leveraging my own skill set as a growth specialist to see, hey,
All
man,
right.
look, you need to finalize this. You need to narrow on this, because now let's say I'm working with another business and they're having this problem. Now I
All
can
right.
tell them, look, man, you need to narrow in on this message and preach the exact same message on all your platforms, all your content. That way, whoever is watching it, whether it's someone who knows you or someone who doesn't know you, they all
Mhm.
automatically understand who you are, what you do, who you can help.
All right. Cool.
Yo, Duno,
Yo,
another thing too. I thought this was kind of funny because like when I first worked with this restaurant, I think it was like 4 or 5 months ago. Like,
Mm.
yeah, they were somewhat busy, but they were not filling up the restaurant like all the way, right? I
Mm.
asked him a question today, like Charles, the GM. I said, "Hey Charles, are you guys doing anything for the Super Bowl? Because they did like promos and stuff like for like some of the other events."
Mm.
And he told me, he's like, "No, just regular game day. We don't run promotions as we're packed regardless. Like
Mm.
because those 5 months, that means we're kicking ass."
Gotcha. Well, dude, I
That
mean,
could be a
even with,
good case study right there because like, I mean, it shows I'm getting results there, you know?
dude, literally, a case study is point A to point B. If you
Yeah,
help someone make their first whatever, that's a case study. If you help them go even further, that's a new case study. If you help them go even further, that's another case study. Even yourself,
for
right?
sure.
What you've done going from point A to point B, that's a case study, right?
Yeah,
So a
because
case study, testimonial, it's literally every level. So no matter what level you help them get to,
for
that's a case
sure.
study you can now write.
Yeah, because what's his name? That page that I've been helping out for that long, I've
Mm.
grown his account by 265% in the past 6 months.
Nice,
Or I'm at 5 months. Yeah.
nice, nice.
So good results so far. I just want to keep it up, you know, keep up those
Sweet.
good results and keep impacting, you know.
Dude, I mean, literally start, and this is why I'm focusing a lot more on the copywriting these next couple weeks, is because you'll start to understand the marketing is all about how you say the message, right?
Right.
It could be the same exact, I'm writing on a sticky note. It would be better if I wrote it on a whiteboard so you guys can see. So the marketing, right? Literally every single time, no matter what it is, and I'm going to use some big numbers just so you guys can just get a clearer picture. So let's say, you know, your business just did, or not your business, right? It's, you can talk about how much your business is doing, but when you talk more on the results that your clients are getting, whether it's
Yeah.
an agency, whether you're a consultant for major businesses, whatever, people will trust that a lot more than just you talking about what you've done, which is, there's
Yeah,
nothing wrong
that's
with
why
that.
like I always like tell them just results. Like, here's the results for this firm, here's the results for this company, and these are the results we got for them. This is what we can potentially get for you. I say like that because I don't want to like, I don't really offer a guarantee when it comes to that part. I
Yeah.
just say, like, this is the results we could potentially get to you because like then it shows trust. Like, hey, like we're doing really well for this client, and if let's say if it's the same niche, they're gonna be like, fuck yeah, let's go, right? But like if it's like a different niche, they might be a little bit concerned, but they're not gonna be as like concerned as like someone that has like literally no results. You know what I mean? So like
Exactly.
that's why like I kind of do it that way, but like I feel like I could do like a guarantee honestly for like the Instagram growth when it comes to like specifically like restaurants. Because
Well,
like
dude,
because
with
with I can
with
do
a
that.
guarantee, it all depends on how you frame
Yeah,
the guarantee, because you don't have to guarantee them a specific result.
yeah,
You can guarantee, like, let's say someone wants to go from, you know, 0 followers to 100,000 followers, right? Your guarantee doesn't have to be, hey, I guarantee I'm going to get you to 100,000 followers, right?
yeah.
Or it
But
could
that'd
be,
be
I'm going to
crazy.
get you to 100,000 followers, right? Because now it all depends on the time frame that you give them and
Yeah,
the vehicle that you're using for that specific end goal. So let's say they want to go from 0 to 100K and they have a lot of money to blow. Cool. Hey, I can help you go through from 0 to 100K. It's going to cost you some ads, right? We're going to be running ads to help you get to that 100,000. It'll
yeah.
likely take about 6 months or
Oh, that's
maybe
incredible. That's
12.
yeah,
But just understand that my guarantee is I'm going to get you to 100K. You don't
for
give them a specific timeline. You don't give them because a lot of people want a specific deadline. So as
right.
long as you can show them that, hey, look, you want to go from 0 to 100K. Cool. We're not going to do that organically. It'll probably take some time. So we're probably going to need some ads. It's probably going to cost X, Y, and Z to, you know, X, Y, and Z
Yeah,
over every single month. And I just need the my retainer to do this service for you. And I'm going to need this specific budget every single month in order to push your account so that we're getting you to this. And
right.
the one key thing about pushing followers is you don't want to sell getting them from 0 to 100K followers. You want
Yeah,
to show them why getting to 100,000 followers is going to mean more money for their business. So let's
right.
say you're getting them growing to 100K, you're getting them to create content that's actually transforming people's ideas about certain topics. Now you plug in 1 or 2 appointment setters into their accounts, right?
And then
Let's say
like
this
they
is the
have
plan.
them reach out to like those people who's like engaging with their content and stuff. And
Exactly.
that's
So
how you do it.
now, so now your strategy, hey, look, I'm gonna help you go from 0 to 100K. This is what it's gonna cost, but these are the kind of returns you can expect based on,
Right.
let's say, your industry, your service, your offer, your
Yeah, because if
location.
they're in like the beauty industry or something like that, like they're gonna make money, right? Or like fitness industry, it's like undoubtable that they're gonna make money because they're gonna be looking for tons of him. Like all fitness companies are looking for influencers, right? But like,
You know?
you know what I mean? And like that's why like now, like also like based on like the results I've gotten for like clients and like based on like the community building and results I'm getting for people as well. I'm thinking of doing so where like I'm trying to target like higher clientele at the same time, like kind of like $25,000 budgets are over, not per month, but like you got me like
Okay.
budgets are over. And then you know, what's it called? The other thing that I'd be open to doing too, like for example, like you, let's just say like I'd probably be open to doing like say like in exchange for like a testimony or case study for you. And like not like 0 to 100K obviously, but like something yeah, I know that. And like something like where like I could like build up like the growth streams on your account and stuff like that. Like I think we could like work something out when it comes to that as well. Um for like when I'm taking on like tons of clients because I'm only taking out like I kind of want to see like how this one call goes on Monday and then like kind of go from there. Because like if I get this client on Monday or if I get this person on Monday to come on the growth or come on for growth and like come on to see if they want to outsource some stuff to me,
Mm.
that's gonna like take up tons of time at first. So then like I'd probably have to like wait another like couple weeks to bring on someone else. You get what I'm saying? Like almost like that.
Yeah.
But like I'd really want to like help you out too, like in exchange for like a case study or testimony if you're cool with that. Because I remember we were talking about it a little bit like a couple months ago as well.
Yeah. No, and what you're saying too about how you'd help them grow, and even, just like you're coming to me and asking, basically for a free testimonial, you can
Yeah.
do the exact same thing, especially some of you guys that are on the call as well. You can do that exact same thing. That's another way to get clients, right? Because let's
Right.
say you work for someone for free. Now you've gotten them as a case study, right? Hey, this is how I helped X, Y, and Z do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
And I could potentially do that for you as well, given the opportunity. Now
Right.
they're more open to working with you, or at least they're willing to try it out so that they can see whether or not you can, one, get them some sort of result. And number two, if the result means they can invest a lot more time or a lot more money or a lot more whatever
Right.
inside of your services, your business, and so on. And George,
Because
I know
I
you're late.
noticed another
Give me one
thing
second.
too.
Yeah,
Yes.
my bad, my bad.
No, worries, dude.
Cool. Yeah.
I'll plug in the recording inside of the Discord as well as inside Notion. That way you can
Mhm.
catch it. But stay. Maybe we'll go work. I mean, we're gonna end up soon, but go ahead, Trent.
The other thing too is what was I about to say? Like another industry that's actually looking for growth specialists, I've noticed too. And like also they're looking just for growth at the moment because they're like literally desperate right now, like especially in like some of these cities since it's so oversaturated since the market was so good a long time ago, but now it came to like the shit. Is like the real estate niche. Like people are looking to bring as much traffic as they can, and you know what I mean, like where like what's it called? Like I think like if we targeted like some of those people, if I targeted like a lot of like those fitness people, like fitness coaches, stuff like that, I think like we'd make like I could definitely help you out with that stuff too, like just with like the targeting aspect, you know what I mean? And like
Yeah,
even like some
dude.
of the people out there as well, like like the marketing agencies. What marketing agencies are looking for is like there's a common misconception where you'll notice like a lot of these marketing agencies, they only do it for like LinkedIn and Facebook, but they just have Instagram to have Instagram, right? And then with that, like you want to build up their growth and you want to build up their growth marketing streams where it comes to like a community building, right? After that, then you want to do something where you get like a ton of businesses coming in, like following them as well as engaging on their account. That's when you like reach out since they're already warm, since they're looking at your page, right? And that's when you start reaching out to them, saying like, hey, this is what I can do for you. And hey, like this is how I can help you if you like give me a chance or something like that. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's like kind of how that stuff goes, just to like to show like how you can prove yourself. Like because sometimes even with like huge clients, right? Like I'll do something where like I'll sometimes propose if I think they're like wicked interested, like super interested, um, that like I'd be willing to do like 2 days worth of like free growth marketing for them just to show them like what I'm capable of doing to prove myself, right? Because
Yeah.
normally I could get like responses like to comments right away. It's just one of those things where it takes like more overtime to like get like more growth. Like for example, for all my clients so far, and I'm not saying this is like a guarantee, but for most of my clients, I've gotten them an increase in 100% on accounts engaged within the first month.
Nice.
Yeah. So it all goes down to like, how are you like bringing in more traction to their page and how are you bringing more SEO? Because believe it or not, like through Instagram, you could boost their SEO on their Google My Business page too. Like
Yeah.
for example, one of the barbershops I helped out like a long time ago, they went from number 11 on Google My Business page to number 2 just using Instagram.
Nice.
It's just all about the growth marketing.
Yeah, and with Google too, you'll tend to find whatever you search up. If they have a LinkedIn page, their LinkedIn is
Yeah.
like the first thing that pops up, and
For
then
sure.
it'll typically be like Instagram or TikTok, and then even, I mean, YouTube might be, before
YouTube's
Instagram,
starting to get
TikTok.
up there. Yeah, I've noticed that too, where like YouTube is starting to get up there a little bit more. Where like a lot of these people are leveraging like YouTube shorts and stuff, which I gotta start doing that, man. I haven't gone into like the YouTube shorts and stuff like that because I don't even know how to use I don't even know how to make a YouTube account, to be honest.
Yeah, no. And with what you're saying, what's like the biggest trend? I made a YouTube. Well, it was I showed you guys this, and then I posted it on YouTube.
Yeah,
But just to kind of give you guys a much more of a,
I would do it for like VSLs and stuff too.
yeah,
Potentially.
just to kind of show you guys really, just to end the call with this. And Andre, I think you just popped in late. I'll be sharing the recording of this inside the Discord. It'll also be in the Notion. But just to kind of end the call out with this, no matter what avenue you guys go with when it comes to content, whether it's showing your face, or it's not showing your face, what you're going to notice in the next, not just couple years, but really for the long term, YouTube is going to be number one. It's already
Yeah.
number one in terms of long-term content and converting people. But what you'll notice, and this started with, let's say you'll see Google, Apple. They were the first companies to really do this well. Is what they did, they gathered a ton of users, right? A ton of users,
Mhm.
and then they monetized. Then the next wave was Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat, Twitter. What they did the same thing Google and Apple did, except they leveraged, Google. And the way they did it is they created their own platform, and then they gathered a bunch of users, right? Which is billions of users. And then they monetized. The next wave of this trend, and now look, Google and Apple, $1 trillion companies.
Yeah.
Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat, Twitter, $1 billion companies, right? They're not trillions, they're in the billions. The next wave is content creators, right? Because these content creators are leveraging Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, Snapchat. They're leveraging these platforms. And we all have our own little Googles. We have our own little newsfeed sections. We have our own little,
Yeah.
we have our own little stuff. Now you have the people like Mr. Beast who choose to monetize later, or he monetizes on a constant basis, whether it's a new business or it's clothing or it's candy. And every time he does it, he's making
He's
a ton
getting
of
like
money.
crazy results.
And you
Yeah.
have the people where they have a business and they're not focused on the entertainment. Business owners that are also content creators, they get to monetize on two fronts. They have an audience, they have a service and offer, and now that content is pushing that service or that business or that offer, whatever it is. So now the next wave for the next couple of years, 10 years, decade, whatever, however long it takes until YouTube or something else comes in the picture, kind of like Google, they were the Google and Apple, first $1 trillion companies. The next stage became Facebook, it became social media platforms. Now the next stage is content creators, whether it's
Yeah.
writing content, whether it's video content, whether you're showing your face or you're not showing your face. What matters is gathering and growing an audience and then monetizing that audience.
And
So
with
that's
real
really kind
truth,
of how that's
Sorry
really
about
just how I wanted to end the call for you guys. I hope this makes sense and just gives you guys a much more broad but as well as narrow perspective on how important content is, especially when it comes to converting someone. Let's say someone knows nothing about your business to them being a super fan over here. Content is what's going to get them to become a super fan, whether it's knowing you or knowing your business. The more they learn about you or your business, the more they're going to become a fan of what you do, especially if you're creating content that changes or transforms their belief. George, I think you raised your hand.
Yeah, I don't think YouTube's gonna be up there until the messaging, the way that they set up the messaging is only comments compared to, in my opinion, the best platform right now, Instagram. The messaging's not there. You can't send a direct message, so when you can't outreach to people, it's only comments, and comments aren't a one-to-one thing. You know what I mean?
You mean like the difference between YouTube and Instagram in terms of
Is in terms of messaging, you can
yeah,
only comment on Instagram. You can comment, DM, story. I mean,
yeah,
YouTube have done smaller things, but they haven't done direct messaging. You know what I mean?
yeah. Here's the cool thing that I wanted like to just give you a little bit deeper understanding of this, of why I'll say YouTube, like YouTube leads, like getting a client from YouTube is a lot more than someone from Instagram. And the
right?
reason is from YouTube, just the demographic and the people on YouTube, it's when you're on YouTube, you're trying to get a problem solved, right? You're searching up the problem, like how to do this, how to do that. And now let's say you find a video, you watch the entire video, and now you like oh man, this person just solved my problem. And now that you
Yeah.
find out that person has a business or they have something that they're selling, now you're like, oh shit, let me sign up, let me buy this. Versus on Instagram, you can reach out to these people. So it's easier short term
Yeah.
to contact people. YouTube is more long term, right? So they both have their advantages. But imagine if YouTube had a messaging platform.
Exactly. That's what I'm
About
trying
it.
to say.
Oh,
I'm
if
sure
they
they thought
did,
about
it
it.
would be crazy.
Yeah, I'm sure they thought about it, but that's the other thing too. And this is important for you guys to understand. Don't niche hop. And by that, I mean, don't service a bunch of different clients every single month or every other month trying to just make money. Focus on one ideal client and just narrow in on being the best at working with this specific client. If
That's
you
what
want
I
to work with
kind of.
restaurants,
Sorry about that.
if you want to work with restaurants, get really, really good at helping restaurants and become the niche expert, meaning your content, if any person trying to do something around their restaurant, they search it up, you're coming up every single time, you're making more money than the person that's trying to help every business out there or every type of, whatever out there, if that makes sense.
100%.
Yeah.
Sweet, sweet.
Yo, Duno. And then like the other thing too, like, and that's why like I have like now I've been like zoned in on like my clients a lot more, like just delivering the best results I possibly can, and like I've been doing it like before too, but like just really zoned in on that. And like after doing it for a while and stuff too, like I've noticed like I've been good at like a couple niches, like 3 niches. And like that's why like I wouldn't be like niche hopping either. And like the other thing too, like now like I noticed that like since I'm really good like with helping out like marketing agencies too, where like I can help out as like a white label if needed or public relations. Like I noticed that like now like since I've gotten like consistently good results, I could potentially charge like a lot more. You know what I mean? Like kind of like what
Dude,
you
that's the
said,
goal.
yeah,
That's the
because
goal.
I remember you told me like when we first talked again, like a while back, like when was it, like December? Like you were telling me, you're like, Trent, you're like, why are you not charging? Like you're just like you get such good results where like you're not charging enough for it. Stop undervaluing yourself. You know what I mean? And
And
like
dude, the main reason you want to charge Like,
Yeah.
and I struggled with this for a long time, right? I had
Okay.
a really tough time charging for my services because I just wanted to help people. But what
Right.
you realize is the more someone pays you, the more value you're going to be able to give them.
And the more motivated you are to help them too.
And, on top of that as well, the more they're going to pay attention to you, right? Like one thing, and this is a funny thing, the client that I charged, $35K back in January, I personally feel like I did him a disservice by not charging him more
Yeah.
because now mind you, he's paying 35,000,
Yeah.
but he's not attentive, meaning like to him, he doesn't feel the drive to respond to me immediately. Versus imagine if I said, okay, it's going to cost you 10 times more, right? Just for joke's sake, he'll probably be paying a lot more attention and probably, hey, oh, yep, this guy messaged me. Let me reply to him. Right.
Yeah.
So as you guys will start to notice, whatever you're choosing to charge for your services, get to the level, like, let's say you charge $5,000 for this service tomorrow. Cool. Now get comfortable at 5,000 so that you can up your price the next month or
Right.
the next week. Because the more you do that, it's not like, yes, you'll make more profit, but it's not just about the profit. It puts you as an authority in front of whoever you're working with. Because
Yeah.
let's say you stop working with businesses that are doing 6 figures a year, you want to work with businesses doing 7 figures a year. If you're charging too cheap, they're not going to take you seriously because they're going to be like,
Like,
you're
why is
charging
this
this
kid
much,
charging so less
but
than
this
like
yeah,
everybody else
exactly.
in the industry? And like then they'll see also like even if you're getting better results than them, they're still not gonna trust you as much because you're charging so low. And that's why like even like my mom told me, like even like some like the one consulting company I'm helping out, the help consulting company, they already told me they're just like if you're looking to like up your like if you're looking to like keep doing like this independent contracting thing, like helping out other agencies and stuff, they're like, you need to be charging like 2,000 plus a month. Like, and they told me like they were helping me actually with like structuring like prices and stuff a little bit, where I should have like maybe like one that's like 2,000, another one that's like 4 grand, and then like one that's 3,500. So like per month each one, where like then it's one of those things where they told you want to kind of have it closer to the higher price with the second one, because it's almost like whether you get popcorn at the movie theater, they told me when you're charging for the small one, like 199, or you're charging for a bigger one, was it like 399, and then the other one's 450
Yeah, or
or
something.
$5, right? Like they're gonna kind of like lean towards those ones, or it's gonna be one of those things where like, hey, I might want to start off with this, and then if you're giving me that value afterwards, then they're gonna go for something bigger. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It's the same way that McDonald's, they have small, medium, large.
And
They
then the
don't
dollar
want you to
amount.
pay they don't care about let's see, they do small and medium. They'll put them, no. Small will be really small, medium and
Yeah.
large will be really, really close. Then they're gonna be like, why am I paying this much? Why don't I just, because look, in marketing, everything is psychology. The better
Yeah.
you get at understanding the psychology of marketing, the more you're gonna realize, like you see Mr. Beast, he says he spends so much time on the perfect thumbnail for whatever video. You can have the best video out there,
If it
but
does have a good thumbnail, then you're fucked, basically.
exactly, because nobody's gonna watch it, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I gotta hop to another call in a few minutes. So I'm gonna let you guys go here. I mean, I hope this call was valuable for you. We're gonna be going hard every day next week. So if you can make it, try to make it. I'll do my best to hit the record button every single time. That way you guys don't miss it. Yeah, stay tuned, guys. Talk to you soon.
Yes, sir. Oh wait, what's it called? I don't know if I'm gonna be there yet on Tuesday. I'm just gonna let you know that right now, just because I have a doctor's appointment.
Yeah, no
But
worries.
it's like one of those things where they give you a physical and it takes like 2 hours, it seems like every time.
Yeah, no
But
worries.
yeah, so like that's the only day I probably won't be there. But like, if I get back in time, I'm definitely joining the call.
Sweet, sweet. I think Andy, you had something on Tuesday as well. So sweet. I'll make sure to record Tuesday. All right, guys.
Sounds like
Talk
a
to you
plan.
soon.
Have a
Alright,
great.
All right, see you, bro.
See you.